Welcome back to our new series Beyond the Shroud, name suggested by our community members Brimstone, 5931 and Jandes. It's a series of videos where we review some of the coolest builds our players have made and talk to them and find out a little more about their process and inspirations. This build is a solo project led by Galanthus and is inspired by ancient cities such as Rome and Babylon. Let's hear from Galanthus how this project came to life. And again, just so you know, the voice you're going to be hearing, that's not Galanthus, we're just going to be reading his answers. So, can you tell us what inspired you to make those incredible builds?
The current base is a mix of real and fictional architecture. After the Roman theme of the first build, I spent some time thinking about what the new base could be. In the end, I decided on the theme Babylon, and the starting point was the famous Hanging Gardens. Just an interpretation, of course. For the surrounding buildings, I looked at real reconstructions of Assyrian architecture and transferred them as best I could. The interiors are of course completely fictitious.
Okay, how did you get started? Do you make a plan or just go with the vibe? How did this project evolve over time?
I now have an almost compulsive system for building. First, I measure the floor plan and make sure that the walls always have an even number of blocks. Also extremely important, I always plan with at least double thick walls or even better, triple thick walls, as I often let the furniture sit inside of them. With multiple layers, nothing will protrude through the back walls later. I then work my way forward step by step. There's always a rough plan for the entire base, but many things are decided spontaneously. At this point, I have to mention my friends Beerfree and Ari, who are both always great sources of inspiration.
What are the coolest features of the build? Any secrets or unique elements you would like to highlight?
There's actually something I've been avoiding for a long time. The main building, the Hanging Gardens, is built around a central column of white light blocks at its center. This column extends across all floors. However, to reach the source, i.e. the lowest floor, you have to go through a labyrinth with lots of traps and obstacle courses. Apart from that, I'm currently adding little stories, and the newly added mannequins are perfect for that. That's my current favorite activity because it's something brand new to the game. There are also some hidden Easter eggs and surprises, so you have to look carefully. What is really important to me is that I always try to keep everything surprising, as if you were constantly stumbling into new little worlds in each room.
What challenges did you encounter during the building process?
The biggest challenge is to turn the images in your head into something that everyone can see, but I think we're now already doing this very well. This is the second base we've built, and I fortunately already overcome most of the sources of error.
Was this a solo process or did you get help or feedback?
Yep, I actually created everything on my own. Sometimes that's a bit of a shame. It would definitely be great to do something together with one or more people. But I'm a bit particular when it comes to design, so I think it's fine the way it is.
And do you plan to modify or add anything to the buildings?
As soon as new content and therefore new decorative items are added, I will definitely find a way to integrate them. But even with new updates, I leave many rooms as they were originally built, both for variety and so you can see a bit of development.
Do you have any other Enshrouded projects currently in the works or in the planning phase?
Yeah, I already have a very concrete idea, but it depends on whether and when the new snow biome appears. For the current base, I definitely want to create a connection to the Sun Temple in the south and rebuild the bridge and the giant gateway. Stylistically, it fits well with the base, and this would be the first time that I rebuild and expand something that already exists in the game.
Well, given how much work you have put into this project, are there any tips for anyone interested in walking in your footsteps?
To be honest, I avoid giving advice. Every player plays differently and I think that's a good thing. But I can give one little tip. Just do it and don't get discouraged. Eventually, everything will come naturally.
And finally, how can we visit?
I don't have a server, but when I'm online, you can visit me at any time. There's no password for helpers and I'm always happy to have visitors.
That's it for the second build showcase. We hope you liked it, and remember, we want to hear your feedback and suggestions for the next video. For now, take care and we will see you in the next one.